Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode number 158. This is a show where we talk about video games and game-related things. My name is Frank from Palmanso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's up, sir?
Hello. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm also feeling very tired. I don't know. It's been a hectic month.
Yeah. You had a lot going on, right?
Yeah, I was moving. I was in the middle of that. I was also doing jury duty, which lasted like 3 weeks. Other familial things. It was crazy. But now all that's over, and now I can try and relax a little bit and try and enjoy summer for once.
Yeah, and this summer is shaping up to be a hell of a summer. This summer is shaping up to be a hell of a summer, like not just weather-wise, but just like things happening and media and movies and stuff. Man, I'm excited for some of the things.
I heard you're going to be seeing Spider-Man multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, you tell me why not.
Worst case, what if it's bad? What if you don't enjoy it?
Well, I've been
anticipating.
I've been trying to stay away from the early reviews, and I also did not watch the last two trailers as much as I wanted to. I didn't watch the last two trailers that they've had of it. I've also avoided any sort of news about it, but I have gotten snippets here and there and everywhere that's saying that this Spider-Man movie is the best Spider-Man movie they've ever made.
Okay.
Like, just all around. And the critics' reviews apparently are saying the same thing, that the Spider-Man movie is magnifique, like fantastic.
Okay.
You know, so I kind of think that not everybody can be wrong, you know, but right. I'm just being a Spider-Man fan, even if it was terrible, just being a fan, I would still see it twice. I'd see it the second time just to make sure that what I didn't see was complete garbage the first time, you know? So.
Okay. I can respect that.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, things is shaping up to be a pretty hectic summer, but I'm glad that things are sort of settled down for you now.
Yeah. And I'm kind of normalizing again, which is good.
Yeah. Cool, man. So as you may hear or not hear, colleague is not with us this week. He's taking care of some things and he will be back soon. So yeah, it's just us this time around.
Yep.
And I also just wanted to talk real quick that I had the chance to go to BlerdCon this past weekend. And BlerdCon is Black Nerd Con. But doesn't mean that it was just exclusive to just black people.
Right.
You know, that's not the way it should be done.
I don't know why everyone always defaults it's a con for black people. I guess I'm not allowed because I'm not black. Why would you think that? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see where they would think that, because it's called BlerdCon. Like,
yeah, it's like right there in the name.
It's like BronyCon. You know, where it's like you think it's just, and I'm sure it's not the case, but you think it's just for, male fans of My Little Pony, but it's not. Like, like everyone can go. It's just there's specifically is geared towards something specific, for lack of a better word. But yeah, BlerdCon was just a regular convention. It just happened to highlight people of color, not just black people, but it's just happened to highlight, people of color who are creators, who are fans, who just, loved all the things that we all love in pop culture. And, we just all happened to just come together. It just happened to be called BlerdCon. And I do want to say that it definitely was pretty awesome. It worked out. It was the first time that they were doing it. And I think that it was a huge success for a first time con. Like, you notice a lot of problems with first time cons, and this one to me had the least amount of that. If any, I didn't really notice anything. If there were fires being put out, I didn't even notice.
Okay, so that's good.
So yeah, it was definitely pretty cool. And
where was BlerdCon?
BlerdCon was actually in Arlington, Virginia. Okay. And that's still Northern Virginia. It's actually maybe about 10 minutes away from where I live. So I was just like, yeah. Yeah, I've actually surprisingly had quite a lot of luck with some conventions that are just so super close to where I live. MagFest is being the big example, where MagFest was fucking like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it was in Maryland, but it's like right on the border between Virginia and Maryland. I just happen to live right next to it.
I guess it's because it's kind of like the center of the East Coast. Maybe that's why this is like a lot of these cons are going there.
Yeah, they just gravitate towards it. Yeah, I understand that. I was just when I moved out here, I had no idea that it was going to be that I would be able to attend all these cons just because they're so close, just on principle.
Yeah.
You know, but. Yeah, BlerdCon was pretty awesome, and I got to talk to a lot of great people, and I think that I will be attending next year. You know, hopefully it was a success all around, which it looked to me like it was, and I will definitely be going next year just because it's so close. So yeah, and it was also really cheap to attend. It was about like $45 for 3 days. So
nice.
that's like unheard of, where you have like New York Comic Con is like $45 for like a Thursday, and then the other days are like $50 or more.
Right, yeah.
You know, so yeah, BlerdCon was really awesome, and I hope to go again.
Cool. You get anything cool from the con?
I got some stuff. I got some stuff. So I got some comics. I got some trades of comics that I wanted to read. I picked up Tuskegee Heirs, which is a comic. It was kickstarted with the creator Marcus Williams. I'm not sure if people know Marcus Williams, but he's the guy who's kind of made a bit of waves on the internet with his Sonic the Human portrayals.
Okay.
And he basically draws all the Sonic characters, but as people. And and they all look like legit. Like if you were to imagine them as a human, this would be like the closest thing. And
That's awesome.
his art is like anime inspired, so it looks like kind of like Joe Madureira's art from Battle Chasers and old school Uncanny X-Men. And I picked up his comic. I've been wanting to pick it up for a while, and so he was there. The creator of the comic, the writer of the comic, I mean. Greg Burnham was there as well, so I got to talk to them. I picked up some comics from and Stephen Harris, who is known for Watson and Holmes.
Okay.
Which was circulating a while ago. I would say like maybe a year or two ago that it was circulating. It was in like circulation, but he had his trades there, and I talked to him, and I actually talked to him at Special Edition in 2015. And yeah, he's a good guy. And so I picked up comics from him. I picked up some samplers from some people that were there, trying to check that out, see what's up with that. But yeah, the con's vendor area was pretty impressive for a first time con. And I was just kind of like, exploring most of the time. They had a really big video game section, and that was supplied by MagFest.
Oh, nice.
And so MagFest, they supplied like arcade machines as well as consoles. And they had a Rock Band set up. So I played some Rock Band with people.
Of course you did. Of course.
Yeah, I did.
Did you slum it on their regular Rock Band drum kit?
Dude, I did. I mean, you know what? Like, I have to say, like, training on this thing, I call it training, because training on this thing now, like, the regular Rock Band drum kit, man, I was hitting everything. And I'm like, man, this is too easy. And the surprising thing is, though, that no one was really playing, like, people were playing the drums, but no one was playing pro drums, man. And I'm like, what's going on, guys? Like,
did they have a cymbal kit?
Yeah, they had a cymbal setup.
Okay.
They had the cymbal setup, but everybody was playing regular drums, and I'm like, "Come on, guys! Like, let's drum it out." But yeah, I played quite a few songs with people on Rock Band. Everybody was just having fun, so it wasn't a competition or anything like that. So.
No, of course, you would never even think of like making it a competition, of course, because you're.
I mean,
you're all about having fun.
The kit is there. They have all the songs. I mean, what? Come on. I mean,
keep track of your score, guys. Let's go. Let's get the 5 stars. Let's get the gold stars.
No, but no. Okay, so there was actually this girl over there that was kind of like that, and I'm like, all right, just relax. Like, it's not that serious. Like, she was playing the lead guitar next to me, and like there were like people that like didn't really know how to play the game, or that were like they were playing the game on easy. They were just like having fun with it, and she was being like real serious. She was saying basically shit like you said, like, yeah, like you guys need to be able to hold the note first and then strum at the same time. And I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, relax, it's not that serious.
Wow.
Seriously, like I'm like, come on.
Coming from you, that says a lot.
and if I said that to her, like that says a lot
that's
about
how serious she was.
That speaks volumes, about like how ridiculous she was being. And so like I also I played Paradise by the Dashboard Light, right? That's the Meatloaf song that I always end my sessions with, the 9-minute long song that I've discussed on the show before. So she's never played that song before. She's playing on expert with the guitar and all that stuff. She never changed instruments though. But so I was just like, all right, let's play that song. Let's do this one. And so she's like, all right, okay, fine. So we start the song up, and I'm like, and I look at her and I'm like, by the way, this song is 9 minutes long. She's like, what? The song starts up, we go. She was pissed.
Wow.
She was pissed. She did not like that one bit, because after the song was over, 9 minutes later, she's like, she looks at me and I look at her, and then I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. She's like, the song, it's a good song. Yeah. But like, it would be easier if like I knew the song. And
easier.
So we can play the song. So I knew how to play the song, and I'm like, okay. And I just walked away. But she was being stupid.
Wow, so, that's bizarre.
Yeah, that's a BlerdCon story. But yeah, BlerdCon was awesome. I got to hook up with the Black Tribbles. They were all there. They actually did a panel on Star Trek. It's called Star Trek Into Blackness, and they were talking about the pretty much like character portrayal of people of color in Star Trek. And unfortunately, I couldn't go to their panel. I had things to do that day, but their panel seemed to be pretty awesome. But I did get the chance to sit down with them and talk with them about BlerdCon and about certain issues that this kind of event would raise. And I thought that conversation went really well. And so, apparently you'll get the chance to listen to that. Hey, so this is Frank, Good Games Podcast, and I have some very special guests with me here. So who do I have here?
Hey! Black Tribbles in the building!
Yeah. It's me.
So yes, as you heard, I have the Black Tribbles, all 5 of them, all 5 of the founding members, because it's so much more than that, right?
Yeah.
So we're here at BlerdCon, and I just want to know what you guys think.
It was fun.
Yeah, I give them a solid A-. They knocked it out the park first time. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Pleasantly surprised. I was expecting a lot more hiccups than there were.
Yeah.
What kind of I'm having a good time. It was nice to see all people of color. It was fantastic. It was just like Chocolate City nerddom. I enjoyed everything.
Yes. I got 3 words for you. Drunk Wonder Woman. I'm out.
Oh.
Yeah, when y'all see that video, it's going to be no more rap.
Yes. For those who don't understand the reference, just to go check out Black Tribbles' Instagram, and you have Kennedy kind of
Drunk Wonder Woman. Going over. It was Drunk Wonder Woman.
They just know each other.
That's my close personal friend. That's all.
A good time was had by all.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job. Shout out to DJ A-Rock. He did a little set in the middle of the afternoon yesterday. It was just lovely. Just happiness. Well, I'm hoping there's video somewhere of the entire con doing with the Queen song. Doing Bohemian Rhapsody on Guitar Hero was ridiculous. No Rock Band was amazing.
Yeah, they were definitely feeling it.
Hey guys.
So
Rock Band was popping all weekend.
Yeah.
I played that a couple times.
yeah, me too. It was great.
I didn't play. I didn't want to make anybody feel bad about themselves.
Oh, what?
I'm playing.
You're expert?
I'm kidding. I'm
So
kidding.
gracious.
There was so much to do. There was so much to see. There were so many people to interact with. So many costumes to admire. I honestly didn't have the time. I wanted to play Rock Band, but I was too busy seeing all of the things.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really cool experience. I'm glad we came.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that, and I'm sure you guys can attest to this, but I'm really glad there's just like a big sense of community here.
Yeah.
And it's basically like we all got together just for the sake of getting together.
Yep.
You know, I was telling Eric and Len, it's like it's not a whole lot of celebrity guests here, like, you know, that will draw a lot of people, but we just came because
Yeah, we here.
we're all
That's what we do.
It's for us.
That's what we
you know?
do.
So,
I'm with it.
So I wanted to ask a more personal question about that sort of thing. So, you know, you guys have seen like in media and pop culture that, you know, it's kind of like you know, us like black people, we're kind of it's kind of like considered cool to have us featured in things now. Like, you know, we're main characters in movies now. We're
Novelties.
You know, yeah, basically. So. Do you think that's more of like do you think that's like pandering, or do you think it's something that could be the start of something greater?
Yes.
To both.
To both. I feel like it is kind of, you know, indicative of lip service. Like, hey, okay, we get it. You guys are here, and there's numbers, so
Right.
we'll represent you. Don't think you're getting any big parts in here, and don't think you're lasting until the end of the movie. But at the same time, we have seen progress. You know what I mean? You see characters like Finn. You see characters like Lucas from Stranger Things. You know.
Idris Elba, Dark Tower. But he's doing his thing all over the place.
All over the place. So I think there's still remnants of the pandering left from an older mindset, an older way of doing things, an older way of perceiving people. But I think because of the sheer volume and the sheer passion of this fan base, you know, the demands for a representation like that are more than just pandering. Like, we are demanding more. We've been demanding more, honestly, for a long time.
Right.
So I feel like we're on that crest. You know, we're seeing the change happen as
Right.
it's happening. So it's still in that point where it's a little bit of both, a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Gotcha. Anybody else have
I don't
anything?
think Greater Media had another way to do it. Like, it had to feel like pandering at first because the way that sort of American society is, it's the only way that it really knows how to do things. It's like, all right, you can have a little bit kind of thing before we just kind of kick in the door.
Yeah.
But it's the only way that American society knows how to do things anyway, so it wasn't going to happen any other way.
Right.
Well, I think that is, and it probably plays into the pandering, but you got in the 21st century, you have more people that are open to this type of stuff.
Right.
People that have grown up that don't really see color like a whole lot before. But like Kennedy said, there's still that older mindset out there in Hollywood and in the boardrooms and everything like that. But that older mindset sees that, you know, letting everybody in have a piece of the pie is working. So now what do? Like they always done. So they copy. So they're trying to copy it, and to a degree it fails because they don't have the heart in it. But more and more of the people that actually have that within them are doing it. So it's learning to shine, it's getting the shine. And we're getting our shout out there, you know, like Jordan Peele blew up with Get Out.
Yeah.
You had Moonlight was like the
Best movie of the year.
Oscar-winning movie of the
movie in the
year.
world ever.
But then you also had, right in the running with that, you had Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and then on television you got Atlanta, Insecure,
Blackish.
Luke Cage, Blackish. You
Luke
know,
Cage easily is a triumph.
Luke
Yeah.
Cage, but then you also have other things just to let you know how much it bleeds out. Then you got things like Fresh Out the Boat that is still blowing up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
And you've got other shows like USA's got like some Latino like mystery type of joint that I be watching like, yo, they're doing this thing. You know what I mean? And Netflix is more out there. Sense8 has people from all
over,
That's
yeah,
international
all over
cast.
the place, yeah.
So it's blowing up. The heart is finally in the product, and that's where it's shining. And that's what you're feeling, that energy.
Yeah.
I like black people.
They I.
Wow.
Wow.
You like a Mari episode, like, I hate my own people.
I hate myself. I want to die.
But I was like, all great points, seriously, because I'm just hoping that it's not too much pandering, that it's kind of like, it's a whole get in where you fit in sort of thing.
Yeah.
With more people trying to come up, Black people trying to come up. But at the same time, I'm just hoping that this is like a actual first step to actual change, and hopefully, they can grow from this.
There's, in terms of change, there's obviously a whole lot of work that still needs to be done overall. Yeah. But I feel like getting where you fit in wouldn't be the case with us, because as usual, we have been pioneering this. We're on the front lines, we're blazing the trail.
Absolutely.
So all of this resistance that we're getting from this old school, discriminatory mindset, one, is not something we're not used to. Two, we're kicking in that door publicly. It's open now because of the internet, so other marginalized communities see that and don't have to put in as much effort as we've had to, because we're on that front line. You know what I mean? The person on the front line always takes the biggest blow.
Right.
But in that, with that door kicking down, like, we're not building the wall up back behind us. You know what I mean? That door's open now for everybody that wants to be a part of it. That's why you have shows like Fresh Off the Boat. You know what I mean? That's why you have comic books like Boriqueña. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like, with just like everything else that we've done on this planet, like, whatever blow we take, we're only going to be more resilient, and the planet's only going to be better for it when it's all said and done. When the dust settles and everybody's an equal, finally, after how many years?
After forever.
After all of them.
It'll be
right after all the years.
I think, as usual, it'll be on the backs of Black ingenuity and Black innovation.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, we're gonna shoulder the brunt of it. We're gonna shoulder the blow, but we're gonna allow opportunity for more other people of color to get out there and do their thing as well.
I would say so.
Well, the other thing is, like, as much as we are against the pandering, you know what I mean? Like, it's beneficial for us, because with that, it comes that money and funding, that old money coming in, putting out shows. If they see a trend, like, oh, look, Black people are popular, and they throw money at something to make another Black show, I'm not going to stop them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that means now, because they have the connections to make something global, to make it something like hit all audiences. When you're doing it by yourself and doing it indie, you have a small market. Yeah, I'll let that corporate company want to be like, hey, we want to sponsor you Blacks and put you on this show. And as long as it ain't making fun of us or making us look bad, if you trying to fund it, pander to me.
Absolutely.
That's why it's all the more important for us to support each other and support all of these endeavors that happen, and not try to find the bootleg of it or anything like that. That's why you got to put your dollars in there, because at the end of the day, the money talks. We got to realize that.
And then the only way that works is, like you were saying, it was like Black folk paying and like supporting other Black businesses and all that stuff. Because then those outside sources will notice that and they'll be like, oh, well, we could be making money off of this too, because that's all they want to do. That's their bottom line, is making money. And they'll jump in on that and support our movements just to make a cut of it.
Plus, if you can spend, how much are Jordans? $250, $300?
Something like that.
If you can spend that kind of money
on an indie film. Come on, stop.
If you can spend that kind of money on every pair of Jordans that comes out, you can go and support your local comic book artist. You know what I mean? You can go support your local
$20, $40.
Buy a couple trades, buy a couple prints, even if you give them to people. You know what I mean? Like, because that stuff matters. It matters.
And specifically amongst the Black American community, the money needs to circulate for longer. I'm tired of that, like, information that, it's facts, but, like, it's only a handful of hours that black folk hold on to money and circulate it through their community. In the Asian community, that drawing hits a whole month in the Asian community before it hits the government. Like everybody else is doing their drawing in the Hispanic community or Latin community, like, it's like 2 weeks or something like that. It's like 2 weeks. It circulates throughout their entire community, that money, and then it goes to, like, cuts to the government and federal funding or whatever it is.
Right.
Black folk, it's like 6 hours.
Yeah,
that's the standard now. Is the money
in the black community only circulates amongst the black community for 6 hours before it hits the government.
That's the reason why I brought I brought this up is because we're here at BlerdCon and we're here to try to support our fellow black people, our fellow black artists. And it's not that BlerdCon is only for just black people, like it's all inclusive, and I think that's just a message that a lot of people can learn from, certain people can learn from. And so
but people are afraid of that because people think that we were going to do it the way they did it and make it like an exclusive thing. And be like, no,
and they have
you're
like a
not
token
allowed
white person there.
You're like, your people aren't allowed. Anytime it's like a black thing, people think that, we're going to say no whites and all that stuff.
No, that's not the case.
That's how they do.
Because that's how it's done historically, through events, culture, anything. We're trying to say, hey, we're just doing a spotlight on the stuff you may not know about, which happen to be black folk. We're celebrating that. We're celebrating the awesomeness of people of color. And then differences of disability, identities. That's what BlerdCon's about.
And on a lighter note, I just wanted to say, you guys all are amazing. I would follow your show. Please follow these guys. Listen to their show. 106.5 FM, right?
Spit up on myself.
106.5 FM. Or just go to blacktribbles.com. Look us up on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and every place a good podcast be.
Yeah, but I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
Yeah,
man. I do.
Oh, man.
Get in here. I think I touched his genitals. No, that's me.
No, that's
Somebody got felt up.
Thank you guys again, and please listen to these guys. Please follow these guys on all the social media and everything, and hopefully we'll hear from them again real soon.
So,
all right.
Word is bond.
All right.
BlerdCon.
So that was the Black Tribbles awesome interview. I really liked talking with them.
Yeah.
And the thing at the end, by the way, was a group hug. So I know everything kind of like got a little loud, but they gave me a group hug because they're really nice people, and I really hopefully we can talk to them again soon one day.
I certainly felt like I was inside of that hug.
Yeah. It was definitely a group hug, and things were people were felt up, things were touched and stuff. So
whoa.
It was a good interview. I really liked their perspective on the question that I asked them, and they had a lot to say. And I didn't want to take too much of their time, but that was a little something. And I definitely recommend you guys go listen to their show. They said
all the shows. They got like so many shows now.
Yeah, I know they got a freaking network now. They got a freaking network now. Their main show is on FM radio. Actually, it's 106.5, and follow them on Facebook and the Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff. And you can call into their show too and offer perspective on different things. And once again, just because it's called Black Tribbles, this doesn't mean that only black people are allowed to call. It's everybody. It's all inclusive.
Yep.
So all right, let's get started with this show, Good Games Podcast, right? And let's start with what we've been playing, and Alex is going to go first. So what you got for us?
Oh God. So I did a thing.
What did you do?
So I've been interested in this game for a while. I was interested when they launched the free trial a few weeks ago, but it was like you, for whatever reason, and stupidly, you can't find this thing on the PlayStation Network store. At least the free trial version of it. Only the paid version was showing up. So I'm like, I guess I'll check this out later or figure this out later. I don't know what the hell the deal was with the free trial. And then the No Clip documentary dropped, I think, last week for this game. Final Fantasy XIV. And kind of... if you guys, and I think I've discussed like the No Clip documentaries in the past, but they're free documentaries on video games on YouTube. Check out that channel because they do like really crazy in-depth documentaries about like certain games. Like they've done Rocket League in the past, they've done the new Doom game, and now they kind of discussed Final Fantasy XIV. Because remember when Final Fantasy XIV launched, it was crap basically, and they kind of show that whole arc of how they made the game in the first place, and then how they kind of remade the game and relaunched it. And that was a very cool story. The way they were able to kind of do that, and the way that just the fact that the company was willing to do that. And then I was like, you know what? I wanted to play this game. Let me see if I can play this game now. And then I figured out how to get the free trial. And I've been playing a whole lot of Final Fantasy XIV. I've got,
oh boy.
I think I've been playing for a little less than a week now, and I've got like 25 hours in already.
Okay.
I like this game a whole lot. And I've been trying to like quantify why. I don't know if I can say why. I don't know why I like this game, but I enjoy it.
Okay, that's good.
It's like, because it's like it feels like a typical MMO. You're just kind of going around, running around, and a lot of the quests so far have been, hey, kill 5 of these things and bring me back their whatever they drop, and then you go back. A lot of fetch questy stuff, but I don't know. There's something very intriguing about it. I don't know if it's like the job system, because you create a character and you can pretty much do whatever you want. So I started off, when I created my character, I was thinking of doing like a magic user, because I barely use that stuff, and I was going to give it a shot. So I did that. I did the conjurer, as it's called. It's more, I guess, of the healer type, or maybe the white mage sort of role. So I tried that for a little bit, and I wasn't really feeling it, especially once I saw like what the gear looked like for the mage. It was like that big frumpy like gown sort of thing, and the big like floppy hat. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And luckily, in the starting town that I was in, there's like an archers guild, so I went over there and like, sign me up. I want to be an archer. And so like right from there, like I was able to be an archer and do that. And I love how flexible it is, because you can just do whatever the hell you want.
Cool.
I went to another city and I found out that, hey, you could be a fisherman. And I fucking love fishing in video games. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go fishing. And like, there's no combat really involved at all. I'm just going and fishing and getting new fish and getting different baits for the fish and finding new areas to fish. And this game is ridiculous. I'm a cook now too. I like to cook in the game. It's pretty cool.
Oh no.
It's pretty fucking cool.
I think you might enjoy those aspects of Final Fantasy XV if you ever give it a try, because they're pretty involved, or they're pretty important to the game itself. So
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, like the MMO, like actually being properly introduced to an MMO is probably also fascinating to me. Just learning how the whole thing is supposed to work and everything. I was aware of like the trinity of combat for MMOs, which is the tank, DPS, and healer roles. Mm-hmm. Normally in the game, you're not really exposed to that, because if you're running around by yourself and just doing like, attacking enemies for quests and stuff like that, the combat is not super involved. You're just kind of standing there, auto attacking, and then whenever your other like special attacks cool down, you can use those and throw those in there. But there's not a lot of like high level strategy for the most part. But through my quests, I've been doing these, I guess, I don't know what they're called. Like they're basically raids, but they're like 4-man raids. They're like the easy baby raids, I would say. So those, the ones that I've done so far, I think I've like done 2 so far, and they're all pretty much the same. Like the composition of the team is supposed to be like, I think it's 2 DPS, 1 tank, and 1 healer. And the game actually does a nice job of like, or setting that up for you. So you kind of go, either in your duty list, or you go to the place where the raid is supposed to take place, and you basically say, okay, I want to do this raid, and then you set yourself up and you hit join, and then in the background the game is like doing the matchmaking, and it's doing it based on your role as well. So like I'm an archer, so I'm a DPS person, so like, okay, we have 1 DPS person, we're trying to line up the other roles for you, and while that's going, you can go around like traipsing the world of Final Fantasy and doing all these other quests while it's still trying to matchmake you. And then when it finishes matchmaking you and it gets your teams together, then you get like a little confirmation pop-up like, okay, we got everybody. Are you ready to go? And then you're just like, once you do that, you're teleported into the raid. And now we're 4 guys going around killing things. And that's when you see more of like the intricate combat system of like the MMO style in Final Fantasy XIV, where it's like, okay, you're working as a team. the healer's got to heal you, the DPS got to protect the healer and do damage to the boss while the tank is basically aggroing all the enemies so that the enemies don't attack anybody else. So I was like, all right, this feels kind of cool. I like this. I like what's going on around here. But man, yeah, I don't know. Like, well, actually, I guess to rewind, like to my first point of like trying to get the free trial to begin with, that is a process. It's it doesn't make 100%. I thought like Nintendo was kind of bad with like their online stuff, but like Square Enix they've got some jank in there as well. Because so what I had to do is I had to go to I think it was FinalFantasy14.com. That's FinalFantasyXIV.com. I believe that's the whole URL. But you basically go there and there's a big ass button that says start your free trial. And you have to create your Square Enix account.
Yeah. Which
is separate from the Square Enix ID, which I already had. And I was like, wait, what? Why does this not work? And then, I figured out it's a separate thing. So I created my account. And then through that process, you can decide what platform you want to play on. You want to play on PlayStation 4 or PC or whatever. I picked PlayStation 4. And then it linked me to the store page, the PlayStation store page for the free trial. And then from the website, I was able to push the download button to send it to my PS4. So I don't know how long that process took. So I turned on my PS4 like the next day or whatever, because I wasn't really like I knew I was going to take a while for it to download. So I go back in there and I launch Final Fantasy XIV on my PlayStation and it loads. So this is the weird part is like, it doesn't load the game right away. It loads like almost like a wrapper, like a launcher. Like you see another browser window and it's like logging you into the thing. But the first time I launched it, it had to download an update or the rest of the game. I don't know, but that took like 2.5 hours. So I was like, all right, I'm just not going to play this game yet. But well, yeah, once that finally went through, then through that webpage on the PlayStation, I put in my Square Enix account, username, and password, and then logged in, and then also went through the process of creating my character, which also took like an hour for me, just because I felt like I needed to weigh every decision heavily and pick my correct race in. You have to do a lot of stuff to create a character. Like you have to create, or you have to pick what your character's like guardian deity is. And I'm like, what is this even for? You like, I have to put their birthday, but like their in-world birthday, because they have a different calendar than ours. I'm like, oh, this is bizarre. Okay, I don't know why we need to go in so much detail, but all right, I'll play along. But yeah, that was a fun process.
That sounds like the makings of a good character creator, though.
Yeah, like it is really in depth, and actually, the character models look really good, which I wasn't really expecting from MMO style. Usually, you tend to think that the graphics are going to be a little worse than what you've come to expect from other games. Mm-hmm. But the character models by themselves look pretty good. I will say, like the environments, like the world and the layout of that is not great, but it's serviceable. It's not like it's not a huge deal. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just, for whatever reason, I just enjoy going around picking up quests and doing stuff for people. And I got a cute little like puppy dog and a little cat that follows me around and stuff. It's a fun game. And I'm now the thing that I'm dreading is when my free trial ends, and then I have to make a decision. How deep am I willing to go to Final Fantasy XIV?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It kind of sounds like you're kind of in there a little bit. So
I am.
So it's a monthly fee, just like all other MMOs, right?
Yeah, it's a monthly fee, and then you have to also buy the game on top of that. And then there's also the different expansions. So I didn't realize at the time, but I guess I started playing as the new Stormblood expansion came out. And,
cool.
So I've been seeing a lot of people on the servers. There's like one town in particular that I was in the other day, and there was just like a shit ton of people. I was like, God, what's going on here? Is there a party that I'm missing out on?
It's Final Fantasy. Well, I mean, hey, you kind of do that with Destiny. Like you've been with the exception of monthly fee, but you've pretty much been doing that with Destiny. You bought the game, and then you bought all the expansions on top of it, and you're just looking for people to play with and have fun. And this is like an RPG. So this is like straight up RPG. So it's like, it's got the fantasy element and the the leveling up and just the things that make RPGs so like engrossing. It's got it in there, it seems. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think this might be your thing, and you wanna do it. You you might want to do it.
I definitely do. But it's just a matter of when. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it'll be around.
Like that Destiny's gearing up, man. That's my one true love right now. And but yeah, there's like a lot of Final Fantasy stuff in here too. Like they have like their own gold saucer in the game.
Nice.
Yeah, with the music and everything, chocobo racing and shit.
Oh,
that stuff is all there.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, the chocobo racing, I don't know. I did the tutorial and the controls felt weird. Like I don't know if it was if I was lagging or something with the connection to the server, but like it felt like it didn't feel great. Just like steering and all that sort of thing. But it's there, and they've got like card games and all this other kind of crap. There's a whole lot of content in this game. And they give you so much for free at the beginning. It's kind of scary, because I think the level cap for the free trial is like 35, and I think I've just hit around like 25, and for like my highest job class. And yeah, and then you can, again, if you wanted to, you can go back and play some of the other job classes. And I like that there's not just like only combat classes. Like there's other shit you can do in the game if you don't want to do that. But I think if you want to advance the story, you do have to have one of those combat classes, because that's the story. You have to fight people and good and evil and all that kind of crap. And actually, the story-wise, it is kind of intriguing, but because there are so many quests, I end up skipping a lot of text. So I'm just like, okay, you have a quest for me? I'm mashing on that X button, and until I get the quest.
Like, I don't care why, just let me go on it.
Nope. Because there's just so many quests, and a lot of them are just so inconsequential. Like, I'm sure like the writing so far is really good, and a lot of the world building stuff is interesting. If you want to get in there and read everything, it's fine. But for me, it's just so much. It's just too much. And like almost all of it is just pure text. Sometimes you'll get cinematics, but most of the time those cinematics are also just text only, but with like, fancier camera angles and all that. It's very rare that there is like voice dialogue, but it is occasionally there. But it seems like it's mostly there for the higher level like story stuff. But yeah, there's just a whole lot, like the fact that like there are different starting zones, and I was aware of this fact from like other MMOs, but just seeing it for the first time is like and just realizing how much stuff there is to see in the game. It's like, God damn, there's a lot of shit in here, and it's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. I'm just waiting for the chance where I can get a mount. I want like a chocobo, or I've seen some people rocking those. Oh man, I forget what they're called. Those things from Final Fantasy VI. Those like big mechanized things.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah. I've seen people running around in those, and that looks fun. But yeah, just like, even as like a fan of Final Fantasy games, there's a lot of like fan servicey kind of stuff in everywhere, like in the game. And I'm not like a huge Final Fantasy person either, but like just turning on the game and hearing that little jingle in the beginning, and the typical Final Fantasy fanfare every time you level up is like, all right, yeah, this is kind of cool. I like this.
Well, hey, maybe this might open a bit more of a door for you, or a path for you. Maybe you might try other Final Fantasy games that you probably never got the chance to.
Actually, you know what? That brings up a very good point, because playing this game, I was picking up some very heavy Final Fantasy XII vibes. And now I am like super interested in that Zodiac Age remake, remaster, or whatever that's coming out, I think next week. So yeah, I'm like, I want to play, because I liked Final Fantasy XII, what I played of it, but I never got far in it. So I'm more than likely going to revisit that as well.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XII was definitely a love hate. Like if you liked it, you loved it. But if it wasn't your thing, you hated it, because it's very polarizing. Yeah. So if it seems like your thing, like, and again, you did like it in the beginning, I think you might want to get that remaster and check it out.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do that. Because playing Final Fantasy XIV has like rekindled my interest in the Final Fantasy franchise, and 12 in particular for now. we'll see where else I go from there. But yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly, like you said, like when the game first came out, it was utter crap. But lately, there are people that we know that no one has ever said anything bad about it.
Yeah, it's really good. And the fact that they did that, they relaunched it like in lore. They also had an explanation for why things changed and stuff like that. So yeah, when you're playing Final Fantasy XIV for the first time now, like they reference the event that kind of happened when A Realm Reborn came out, and they had to, I guess, relaunch the game and all that stuff. So there's in-lore stuff that references that. So that's also pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
They went all out, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, this game is gonna consume most of my life for the rest of the year. But I don't know, man.
At least up until September.
Yeah, at least. But you've been playing some stuff too, man. What's I'm curious what happened here.
Yeah, okay. So after my fantastic experience with Telltale game, and that was the Batman Telltale series, I decided to try another Telltale series game. And it's also because the subject matter is very important to me, and I'm very interested in it. So I tried the Back to the Future, the Telltale series game.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to preface by saying Back to the Future is arguably one of the most beloved movie franchises of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movies are fantastic. I think the finales of the first and the third movie are some of the best in cinema.
Yeah, really good.
Like every time you watch the end of the first Back to the Future, even though you've seen it a million times, you're still like on pins and needles to see if like he makes it, at the very end. And it's like, it's amazing. And the train in the third movie are fucking awesome. Like, what the hell were they thinking? Oh my God, it's so good.
You're just talking about it. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now.
That score too is just, my God, so good.
It's classic stuff, man. So I was just like, why didn't I try this game before when it came out? Because it came out during the 25th anniversary year of Back to the Future. I think that was 2010.
Okay.
Or 2000. Well, it was around that time, so it was like 2011 or something like that. But anyway, so they had a PS4 version, a HD remaster version, I guess, of the PS3 game. And so I was like, all right, let me pick it up on PS4 because I was reading about it and I heard that it added to the story, or it seems like it's true enough of a would-be sequel to the game. So the game takes place 1 year after the events of the third game. So, Doc Brown, he's off doing his thing with the train, adventures with his family or whatever, but you get several messages from him that sort of exclaims that he's been to the future and to the past. He's been time hopping basically, and that he needs your help. And so it has you travel to different time periods that you never visited in any of the movies. So like the first episode, for example, you visit 1931, where you have to convince a young Doc Brown to like make this rocket powered drill so you can release the old Doc Brown from prison in that year, because he burned down a speakeasy that was serving alcohol and at the time, prohibition and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there are really interesting things like that. And anyway, let me just say that the game is all right. It's not like there's still a lot of work that needed to be done with that game. The game is all right. The story is kind of there. Mm-hmm. I can accept a lot of it for what it is and stuff. The thing that kind of turns me off to the game a little bit is the graphical style of Telltale has always been kind of like weird, but and you could tell they really stepped up their game with Batman, like huge, big, large step up with Batman. Like it was completely different from what they've ever put out before. But the graphic style is kind of like, it's kind of weird. The musical score is there, but sometimes depending on the levels that you set, it's like really overpowering and you can't even hear the characters speak.
Yeah.
But the score is definitely appreciated though. But another thing that turns me off is the controls generally. Like the controls, like I understand like it's like more like a point and click sort of adventure sort of thing. That they think they were trying to go for that style with this one and most other games before. But the just moving the characters around, like moving the character around is just so like weird and awkward, and it doesn't work, you know? So it really takes you out of it sometimes when you have to go to like a certain area and it takes like 60 seconds for you to travel like across the street.
Well,
you know?
I don't know if they were doing this back then, but usually there is a way to walk faster. It's like marginally faster, but yeah.
I'm talking about with that button.
Oh,
like
okay,
it's the circle button. It's the circle button in this case, in this game, and yeah, you hold the circle button down to like walk faster or run. But running, like you said, is fractionally faster than walking. But yeah, it still takes forever, man. And like, it's not just that. It's not just the speed of it. It's just the positioning of everything. Like, it's like you have to like go around like fences or walls to get to like a certain character or a certain place or read something. And it's just the controls. I'm just like, sometimes the controls lock in the direction that you input. When it switches to the next screen, so you have to like readjust yourself constantly just to make sure you're on the same path, and it really takes you out of it. I deduct a lot of points for the game because of its controls and because of just from a technical standpoint, it's not the best. But I will give it positive points for the story. Storyline is interesting. They bring new scenarios into Back to the Future. It feels enough like a Back to the Future story so that you can get into it, and you've been invested in these characters for since 1985 when the first movie came out, like, so you know who they are. And Christopher Lloyd reprises his role as Doc Brown. Yep. He plays both young and old Doc Brown. And Michael J. Fox does do Marty's voice, but only for a few instances. You can kind of tell, Michael J. Fox, Parkinson's, and you can kind of tell that he was in it in a very limited capacity, but you could tell that he really wanted to do it. So, they, of course, why not? They let him do it.
Right.
But the voice actor that does most of Marty's lines, AJ Locascio, he's fucking phenomenal. Like, I can't believe, like, he sounds exactly like Michael J. Fox does.
Yep. And
I'm serious. You can't tell the difference. If they didn't say that it was a different guy, like, you could not tell the difference. And I give mad props to him for that, because man, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I remember seeing like promotional videos before, or when that game was launching, and they were just, like, hey, we got this sound like for Michael J. Fox's character, and I was like, okay, this is not going to go great.
It's not going to work. Yeah,
just hearing him and like, god damn, and
yeah,
and he was using that talent before, and he was like doing like going to school as like dressed up as Marty McFly and doing the voice, and I was like, okay, we got the right guy.
Yeah. he fucking nailed it, man. Like, I'm in there. I'm like, oh wow, this guy really fucking did a great job. So yeah, I guess as a whole, some of the like, again, this game is very much story based. So, the action scenes when they're there, there are not so many, but the action scenes when they're there are kind of like, they're not like, they don't like have the same punch as the action scenes in the movies do, of course. But but at the same time, they're there to further the story, and I appreciated that as much as anything. And the story is very well done. It's, again, enough of it is there that you feel very invested and you want to see it through to the end. So I recommend it, but I recommend it to fans of the game. If you're not necessarily a fan of Back to the Future, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but if you're not a fan of Back to the Future, I would not recommend it, because you'll be really lost. There's a lot of callbacks to the movies. There's a lot of callbacks to things, to Easter egg. There are a lot of Easter eggs to the movies that you will completely go over your head. And unfortunately, a lot of it rides on the fact that there are movies that have been established to make this game a reality.
Yeah.
You know? So I definitely say for fans of the series, of the franchise, go for it. You might have to work around some issues, but you'll appreciate it for the most part of the package that you're getting with it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Back to the Future Telltale series. Nice effort. I just wish they really cleaned up a lot of their technical issues.
Yeah, I've been saying that for fucking years now.
Yeah. I think Telltale definitely needs to, really good storytellers, and they even got like some people that worked on the original films to write some of the stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I wasn't sure. It felt like it did, but I think Bob Gale was involved in the process. Yeah,
Bob Gale basically wrote the game. Like he basically did the what is it called? The treatment.
Okay.
He did the treatment for the game. So the game was written, and then he supervised everything, and he put his own changes in there and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, he was very heavily involved, and you know what? It shows because the story is great.
Yeah.
It's just, again, Telltale, the goddamn technical issues, it really takes you out of it sometimes. And this is not something that you should be taken out of. It's like something that you should be completely engrossed in at all times, because that's how the movies made you feel.
Yeah. And it's kind of like one of the Telltale games before their Walking Dead renaissance.
Yeah.
It's still like that adventure game. When you put this game on this list, I'm like, how's Frank going to react to playing like a point and click ass adventure game in this day and age? I mean, again, the only reason why I did it, and I'm sure, the reason, of course, at least from a marketing perspective, the reason why they created this game is because they know there are a huge, like, millions and millions and millions of fans of this franchise. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why I tried it. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I try this before? Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future. Who doesn't? But yeah, and again, story is there, but technical problems the technical problems mar it enough for me so that I can't. I sometimes I'm like, all right, sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop the game here and just try something else and come back to it, because it takes you out of it that much. Yeah.
So yeah. But that's all I pretty much wanted to say about Back to the Future. Again, if you're a fan, go for it. I think you'd love it, just for the story. But all right, so that's it for what we've been playing, and let's move into headlines. And before we do, as always, if you're not already there, go to innercitygeeks.com so you can go to the show notes and follow along with us as we talk about what we're about to talk about. So first up is Summer Games Done Quick is back. It's that time again. And Summer Games Done Quick is annual speedrunning event that showcases all of these like amazing and favorite games of ever, and you just see people just completely like make you feel like shit about how you play your video games, because they are able to run through these like games in either seconds or hours, and depending on like the type of game. And so, yeah, it's a week-long event. It's really a lot of fun, and all of the proceeds go to charity. And it's definitely worth checking out. You can watch it. You can actually watch it on this link we're providing you on the show notes, but you can also watch it on a lot of different media, Twitch especially, because Twitch is always there. And yeah, so that's Summer Games Done Quick. Anything to say about this?
No, just that I'm sad that I haven't seen any of it yet. I don't know. Yeah, it's just so much. Like things are starting to calm down now, and hopefully I get to see some stuff. Like I was curious about the Nier Automata run, but they opened up with that, and I still haven't played that game, so I don't want to see too much of it. And I'm curious how they handle the different endings.
They have with the Nier Automata run, it's only for ending A.
Okay.
And it's any percentage. So basically, just go through the game as fast as possible. They had a time. They think they had a time for like an hour and a half. That was estimated. So I'm like, what? So they also on this link they also have the schedule for the games. So you can see you can see what the estimated run times for the games would be. Usually they allot a few minutes more or seconds more because, you know, there's like setup time and stuff like that. But usually most of the speedrunners are usually on point with the scheduled times. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun to check out. And I think after the event is over, the event ends on Sunday, July 9th. And after the event is over, they will have a video archive of all of the runs for each individual game. So then you can check it out. You know, like if you're like Alex and you don't have a lot of time, but you'll have time a little later, then you can just check out all of the runs separately, or the runs that you're interested in at least. Yeah. And yeah, they have like all the great games on there. Ocarina of Time is usually an ender. Super Metroid, Streets of Rage. They have an Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 run that I was very interested in, but I didn't get the chance to watch it.
TazBot stuff is always fun to watch.
Yeah. They have Donkey Kong Country runs. They have like Mario. I think they have Mario. I think is it Mario RPG or Mario. But yeah, a Mario game's in there somewhere. But yeah, definitely check out Summer Games Done Quick. And it's also, not to be confused with, but it is associated with Awesome Games Done Quick. So, which is done in the wintertime. So yeah. So that's it for Summer Games Done Quick. So let's move on into sort of old news by this point, but we didn't get the chance to cover it until now. So Nintendo kind of broke the internet about a week ago and said that they are releasing an SNES Classic. And that's not to be confused with the NES Classic, which you can't find anywhere ever again. The SNES Classic is coming, and it's coming in September 29th. And they announced 21 games that will be bundled with it, and it's going to go for $80. So the 21 games is a smaller library, but it's a higher price point, as the NES Classic was going for $60. So the one of the biggest selling points of this new little system is that they're going to include a copy of Star Fox 2, which was never released.
Yeah.
And they said basically, and it technically it won't be released with this unit. Well, you have to basically play the first Star Fox, but you just have to play the first level of the game
to unlock Star Fox 2.
To unlock Star Fox 2. But yeah, you get the chance to actually have Star Fox 2 and play it on this nice little system.
Yeah, but still, this is the first time Nintendo is actually officially putting it out there. And so, I know ROMs are out there. You can find Star Fox 2 because it was finished. They just, I think, decided to pull the plug on it last second. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of curious if they changed anything with this release.
I don't know. The list of games are like basically like all the games that you've ever heard of that are associated with Super Nintendo. Like all of the great hits are on this unit, including like Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World, the first Star Fox, Final Fantasy III, technically Final Fantasy VI, Mega Man X, Super Castlevania 4, Super Punch Out, Street Fighter 2, Super Mario RPG, Contra 3, Earthbound, like all of the Super Metroid, all of these like insane hits, Zelda, Link to the Past, all the fucking like greatest hits of like Super Nintendo are going to be on this system. So yeah, it's definitely, I think it's definitely worth checking out and getting. It's kind of insane. Pre-orders already, there are pre-orders that have gone up, but the pre-orders that have gone up are like already like marked up like 300%.
Jesus.
Yeah, on like eBay, like third-party sellers, but like official pre-orders haven't gone up yet, unfortunately, at this point in time. Maybe by the time you hear this, maybe they will, but yeah.
I'm way more excited about this than I was about the NES Classic.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the better games and Star Fox 2, like that's crazy. That is insane.
Yeah. I think that's going to be something awesome, and it's definitely going to be a big selling point. I mean, people are already like waiting like by their computers like every second to see when pre-orders go up, because this thing is going to fly off the shelves. Nintendo did say we're going to make significantly more units of the SNES Classic than the NES Classic, but I think significantly more can mean like 50. you know, because they didn't release a whole lot of units for the NES Classic, and that's what Nintendo does. They always underdevelop, like, you know, or
produce.
They just reduce their sales, like by putting out like 100 units of something that millions want. So
yeah, I mean, they've been kind of hurt before with stuff. So I understand why they're gun shy usually with like hardware stuff, because you don't want to make too much product and have it sitting on shelves and shit. But I mean, they should have realized with the reaction to the NES Classic, like, all right, let's ramp up production on this thing. But no. But I will say about this too, like it's part of the $10 more expensive version of the Super Nintendo Classic. Part of that is probably because they're including a second controller as well, which wasn't present in the NES Classic. So at least you get two controllers, and actually I think the cord is also longer than the 3-foot NES version. Here, I think this version the Super Nintendo version is going to be 5 feet long for the cables.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, because the NES Classic was like 2.
Yeah, I think it was like 3.
Feet.
Yeah. It's like, why would you do that? That's
not long enough.
Yeah. Nope. Not even a little bit.
Not even close. But yeah, so SNES Classic is coming. Just wait by your phones, wait by your computers, wait by anything that, like, you know, if you're at work on one day working on something and pre-orders go up, snag it. Snag it as fast as possible. I also saw like pictures of like a rumored Super Famicom like controller version that's coming out as well.
No, those are coming. Because like in each region is going to be different.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
The European versions and the
it's
Japanese
the UK version. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I don't know about you. I'm definitely gonna try to get one of these things.
Yeah, I will too. I didn't care about the NES Classic, but this is this is up my alley.
Yeah, it's got like all the best games, man. So that's it for SNES Classic. So let's move on into some not so great news. So Glixel, which is the video game website run by Rolling Stone, is unfortunately they're kind of downgrading, or they're downsizing. Their San Francisco office is closed. A lot of their resources were moved over to the New York office, and the San Francisco office was where the department that actually started Glixel. And it's really because they said that it's because video game journalism has kind of really shifted towards YouTubers rather than articles. Ironically enough, where you know, this is an article that we're reading from, but it's true. A lot of people gravitate more towards Let's Plays or YouTube reviews, or, you know, just like documentation, YouTube documentation, video documentation of a game that they might be interested in, or a game they've played already. And it's just an easier form to take in. And unfortunately, it's affected them. And so, yeah, it's been like this for a while now. And yeah, they've had to make... it looks like it might be the start of some severe cuts, but hopefully they can pool their resources in New York and make it so that it can continue a little stronger, or just as strong.
Yeah.
In New York. But yeah, so that's unfortunate that happened.
Yeah, like I don't even know who they would have in New York that would, I guess, assume the role of like running Glixel now, because it seemed like, at least from my perspective, it seemed like everything was done out at the San Francisco office. So, like, people like John Davison and Simon Cox, who I'm familiar with them, like back in their like EGM and 1UP days, and they've been around forever and they do good work. But it's kind of sad to see that this is happening out there. The rug's being pulled from under them, and because I didn't 100% love Glixel, some of the stuff was like, but they also had some cool stuff. Like they have like freaking Hideo Kojima like as a contributing writer on the site. Yeah. Like he's putting up articles there. Like, what the hell are they doing? This is insane.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, they had some good interviews as well on their site. But yeah, I don't know. It's always had to happen when people get laid off. And although Glixel is not quite dead, I don't know what its future is going to be, especially if it's going to be run by the Rolling Stone
the future's
folks.
not looking so great as of right now. But okay, so moving on to other news. So Nintendo and Mario were the big winners at the E3 2017 Game Critics Awards. took home the most important categories, the top 3 categories. So Super Mario Odyssey won Best of Show, and it also won Best Console Game. And Best Original Game went to Ubisoft's Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which looks like fun.
It looks great. It looks like a super accessible version of like XCOM.
Yeah,
I'm all about XCOM. That shit is great.
Yeah, it definitely didn't appeal to me. Well, the type of game doesn't appeal to me, but I saw it there and I'm like, this game looks ridiculous. I like this. I like where this is going. So unfortunately there was a huge line for it, so I couldn't I couldn't get the chance to actually try it. But yeah, so the Game Critic Awards for E3 happened. That's a thing that happened. And yeah, so Nintendo pretty much stole the show, not just with their presentation, but with the games.
Yeah.
And you could tell like Nintendo just took up so much space at E3 that it was just like, all right, we kind of know who has the most attention here put on them. But yeah, they also have on this article, there are also the awards for the other categories. I just like to point out that Best Fighting Game went to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can take a look at the other award winners for the categories that they have for the Game Critic Awards here on this article. So anything to add about that?
No, not really. Just that Nintendo, they had something to prove at E3, and I think they proved it. Most of it, at least.
Yeah, for sure. So, moving on into not so great news. Mass Effect Andromeda made the news again. Apparently, there was a Facebook post a shared Facebook post showing that BioWare had canceled their Mass Effect Andromeda DLC, and the post was a hoax. But unfortunately, they guessed correctly, and Mass Effect Andromeda will not be receiving any single player DLC. Yeah, so that's just another negative point in the saga that is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say it's like, yeah, it's the writing was on the wall, because especially when they kind of scaled down the Montreal studio. And basically, all they were going to do is pretty much support the game and put out patches. And I think they're still updating multiplayer, but it seemed pretty obvious that there's not going to be any other like single player DLC, which is a shame because it's been a big part of all the other Mass Effect games. And there was some pretty, like, they had written in the game like excuses for like DLC. Like there's a lot of races that you might be familiar with if you played the Mass Effect games that are not present in Andromeda, and they made like a sort of mention it to it in the game, like through some lines of dialogue that like, oh yeah, the other arcs with the other races are on their way. They left later than us, but they'll be here, and I guess they're never going to show up because that's terrible.
Yeah, and apparently BioWare is not responding as to why. Like they're not saying anything as to why at this point in time. I unfortunately don't think that I don't think they're going to really try to talk about that because it's negative press for them. But they're not talking as to why. I hope that doesn't mean that's not a sign that they mean that means that they've like abandoned like any hopes of this game being more successful. But yeah, it's not looking good for the future of this game.
Yeah, or the franchise. I don't know. I'm kind of scared what's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they just hibernate for a bit, like best case scenario. I don't know.
I don't know. I hope I think they need to like kind of go away for a little bit and rethink their strategy on this, because yeah, Mass Effect's a pretty huge franchise and not looking good. Not looking good.
To see it go out like that, that's terrible. I'm still kind of working my way through Andromeda, and I'm like, it's definitely
I don't know. It seems to me like it's more of a struggle.
It's a love-hate thing right now.
Yeah.
Yep. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna hope for the best for at least for the series as a whole. This game, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and sort of better news. So Open 4, GTA 5 modding tool is being distributed once again after it was shut down because of cease and desist by Take-Two. And apparently it's back up, and that was apparently been a big thing, a big issue for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And you were telling me earlier that basically everybody was like shitting on like the reviews of this thing, and
like everyone like they grabbed their pitchforks and they went to the Steam reviews, and like there are so many like negative reviews. I think I saw like I forget what it's called. I think it's a Steam Spy, which is like a service where you can like look at like get graphs and stuff of like sales and reviews and stuff. And like the graph for the reviews like was like positive, and then it's like almost like a straight line down towards like negative. It was insane. People took them to task in the best way that they could.
Yeah, and that would obviously hurt. The sales, but. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's been some sort of agreement reached. They do have some things to kind of work out, and we'll see, because it sounds like maybe it's kind of like they're working something out where they probably release it in some sort of limited capacity, or at least working with the publisher to make sure that nothing is unlawfully done or unlawfully distributed. And so,
yeah, because I think like the main sticking point for Take-Two was that they were afraid that the mods and stuff would affect the multiplayer in the game
aspect. Yeah,
when there's a lot of cheaters and stuff out there, and they're causing a muck for other people that are just trying to enjoy the game. So they want to stop that, obviously. But Open 4 didn't have anything to do with multiplayer. Or at least that's what they claim. I think one of the things that Take-Two also said is that like there were some things in Open 4 that might have made it easier for multiplayer hacking and stuff like that. So that's why they're saying that they included Open 4 in that. I don't know if that's just them covering their ass or what the deal is with there, but that was their reasoning. And now that that's been, I guess, resolved, there was an update I think to Open 4 not too long ago, and again, it's on their website now, which it wasn't before. So that's the thing. So hopefully this gets like this evens out, because the modding community for the GTA games is fucking enormous. It's huge, and there's a whole lot of crazy things they do and creative things, and I would hate to see that go away. And at least it seems like the publisher is acknowledging that, and they're trying to make good now after they kind of messed up.
Yeah. We'll have to kind of see how this all works out, or at least if they've reached some sort of like, if they're at like some sort of like, gentleman's agreement with how everything's going to be handled from here on out. But yeah, so all right, that's it for headlines, and we're going to move into new and upcoming releases, and Alex is going to go ahead and talk about the past couple of weeks. Because, we missed out on some stuff. But, yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, so new releases for last week, the week of June 27th. We've got Valkyria Revolution for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Vita. Cryptarch for the PlayStation 4. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the PlayStation 4.
A lot of people are playing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have, like, I loved Crash back in the day, but I don't know if it holds up in 2017. I don't know. I'm curious how people are like receiving that game. We also got Final Fantasy XV Episode Prompto for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Go in there and snap some selfies with some guys. More DLC. We've got Titanfall 2 The War Games for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I would presume, like most of the other Titanfall 2 DLC, that it is free as well, but don't quote me on that. More DLC. We've got Halo Wars 2 Icons of War for the Xbox One and PC. Diablo 3 Rise of the Necromancer is now available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I believe that's like $15, and I don't know if it's adding anything more than the Necromancer class, which I don't know. It seems like a weird deal. I know it's been people have been waiting for this for a long time because Necromancer in Diablo 2 was one of the bigger classes, or one of the more, I guess, fan favorite classes, and now it's back in Diablo 3. But now that I'm assuming this is going to be the last, I guess, expansion or addition to that Diablo 3, so because of that, they've released Diablo 3, the Eternal Collection for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which is pretty much like, I guess, their battle chest for Diablo 3. It's like everything Diablo 3 that's been released so far in one physical package for the consoles. Also out last week was Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls for the PlayStation 4 and PC. Elite Dangerous received a Legendary Edition for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Tokyo Xanadu was released for the Vita. Arcade Archives Neo Geo Fatal Fury 2 is now out for the PlayStation 4. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered has been released as a solo game. You no longer have to get Infinite Warfare to get Modern Warfare Remastered. That's available at least now for the PlayStation 4. I don't know if it's been released yet for Xbox One or PC, but that's all I have right now. We also had last week Goner for the Switch. Arcade Archives Neo Geo Super Baseball 2020 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Arcade Archives Neo Geo Magical Drop 2 for the Switch. And finally for last week, thing that's probably going to ruin my life, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, The Master Trials DLC has finally released.
More trials.
Yes, more. Just give me more of that game, that single
more
costume,
trials.
more masks, more stuff to do. Holy crap. That is now out for the Switch and the Wii U. My biggest fear is that I'm going to buy this game and this DLC 2 times over because I'm eventually going to get a Switch. And
oh, yeah?
Yeah, eventually.
Do it.
Eventually. Probably when Mario comes out. Probably.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, my God. I can't wait.
Yeah. But that does it for last week. Now we're going to jump to this week, which doesn't have a lot of stuff, at least that I've seen so far. So for the week of July 4th, happy 4th of July, by the way.
Yes.
Lego Worlds Classic Space is now out for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Kirby's Blowout Blast is out for the 3DS. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Absolution is available for PlayStation 4. And finally, Hunting Simulator for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And now, again, it is the beginning of another month. We've got more games you can get with your various gaming subscriptions. First up, we've got PlayStation Plus for the month of July 2017. First up, you get with your PlayStation Plus subscription is Until Dawn for the PlayStation 4. I'm definitely checking that out. I missed out because I didn't want to buy it because I had seen most of the game by that point. But I will play it for free and see what I can do.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Also out for PlayStation Plus is Game of Thrones for PlayStation 4, which in my opinion is probably one of the worst Telltale games in recent history.
Oh, God.
That did not.
Because I looked at it and I'm like, another Telltale game? Nah.
Nope. For PS3, for PlayStation Plus, Tokyo Jungle. I love Tokyo Jungle. I know I've talked about it a little bit before, but man, if you have not played Tokyo Jungle, play Tokyo Jungle. It will change your world. And then also for PlayStation 3, for PlayStation Plus this month is Darkstalkers Resurrection.
Yes. If I already had Darkstalkers Resurrection, I paid the full price for it. I highly recommend it. It's so good. It comes with it's just so good. A fantastic fighting game series that they need to continue. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely pick that up too. Yes, that's one of my my blind spots. Is I've never played any Darkstalkers. Really? Oh man, yeah, I missed out. And then for the Vita stuff for PlayStation Plus is first we have Elemental, which is spelled Element, and then the number 4, and then the letter L. It's like, all right. Element Foral. Of course, it rolls right off the tongue, just so naturally. And then also Don't Die, Mr. Robot for the Vita, which is also cross-buy with the PlayStation 4.
And then also for PlayStation Plus this month, they announced some stuff. They had this new PlayLink, I guess, initiative. I'm not sure exactly if it's. I think maybe part of it is because part of it is like a smartphone app that you have to download. But they're basically doing the Jackbox thing where you can play games on your PS4 and then do party game stuff with your phone. So as part of this thing, they're going to, for PlayStation Plus members, you can get the PlayLink game That's You from July 4th through October 24th. So it's kind of like their version of one of those party games. And it seems, at least at first glance, it seems a little more, you can do more stuff with your phone. Like you can actually take pictures and then draw on top of those pictures on the phone. And so you're using more of the capabilities of your phone. But it looks more family friendly than something like a Jackbox, which I don't know. I kind of like the attitude and raunchiness of the Jackbox games that they tend to go for.
Yeah.
But you can grab that if you'd like. And then also they announced that Orcs Must Die Unchained is also going to be, I don't know if it's been out already, but you get some extra free stuff if you're a PlayStation Plus member, and you can grab all that stuff from July 18th through August 15th. And then with that, we can go into Xbox side with Games with Gold for July 2017. First up for the Xbox One, you can get Grow Up for the entirety of July. You have until July 1st to the 30th to get that. And then also Runbow for the Xbox One from July 16th through August 15th.
Runbow's fun. I recommend it.
Dope. Also, we can get for both 360 and Xbox One, Kane and Lynch 2 from July 1st through the 15th. And also for both Xbox One and 360, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, the video game. And that does it for all the new releases and stuff for the week and the month, and that's about it, yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much. And with that means we're done with this episode. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit innercitygeeks.com if you haven't remained there already, or you just haven't had the chance to get there. Go there now. And that's where we're located and where we have a bunch of stuff sometimes regarding everything geek. You can view and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Good Games. We have other episodes on there as well. And you can catch up to a limited capacity, but you can still catch up with what we've been playing and talking about and stuff. Yeah. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you can leave us a review. It's one of the best things that you can do for us. Just tell us what you think of the show. You can listen to us where all podcasts are available as well. I also want to encourage everyone that if you're going to do any kind of Amazon shopping, that you go to innercitygeeks.com first. If you're not already there, there's an Amazon banner on the right-hand side of the page. Click that, and when you do, it'll take you to Amazon. Buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and a little bit of that will come back towards us so we can provide more show and more content just for you. You can reach us on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Inner City Geeks mainly. The Twitter for this show is at Good Game Podcast, and you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. So yeah, reach out to us, let us know what's going on. We respond, we actually read everything, and we talk back. So so yeah, it would be great if people could just listen in and just contribute to the conversation, and just, we can just talk about games and stuff, right? That's why you're listening to this show. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to do it for this one. And we'll be back next week, next time. And thank you all for listening. We're going to say goodbye. And in leaving, as always, we say good games, everybody.
Good games.